What's going on today, guys? Primal Sabbath here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the last of the Beast Machines non-show characters. And this is actually the universe version of Snarl from Beast Machines, but the Beast Machines one was very heavily done in gold plastic, and it is extremely prone to breaking, just like anything that has gold plastic in it, it seems. So, I think he was only on like one panel of like a comic in the Beast Machines colors, but for the most part, you saw him in these colors. And honestly, I think it looks a lot better. Something to note though is I have like for his Spark Crystal, you slide this piece up. Now, getting in here, you can already kind of see whenever I disassembled it, it broke, and it's hard to see exactly what this spark crystal looks like, so I'm not gonna even get in there to try to show it off. But he does use the Dinobots spark crystal, which I think is kind of interesting considering the original had a maximal spark crystal. But other than that, I mean, something to keep in mind, like it's probably gonna break if you're applying the pressure of the rubbing alcohol to get that Autobot logo off of it. I definitely did not want the Autobot logo on it, so there it is. And for the most part, I showed it off. It's a dark translucent red anyways, so it doesn't show through, and honestly, you're not just going to have like the one uh, kind of pointed up like that. So, anyways, let's get that back down. So there's that. Also, he's got a gimmick very similar to Beast Machine's Cheetor, where if you rotate the face, the mouth will open. So there is that. Other than that, pretty cool. I do like the little yellow, like kind of triangle pupils painted on the inside of the red eyes, which are also painted. And he's got these nice little purple accents on the sides of his cheek. Really cool. I like all this kind of I can't remember what they called it. It was like they were tainted by Unicron or something like that, when they had to go rescue some characters. So a lot of them, like the Universe Optimus Primal. Whenever we do take a look at that, like he was tainted by Unicron's essence, and blah blah blah. But overall, this is the Snarl that I choose to display. And honestly, he's probably the best Beast Machines Deluxe. I would argue between show characters and non-show characters. Definitely out of non-show characters, but as far as show characters go, he's super awesome. This tail you can kind of rotate either way, so it can be positioned down or up, whatever you want to do with it. He's kind of hindered by some gimmicks that are in robot mode, but I guess we'll kind of get to that in robot mode. Other than that, he's got a pretty cool color scheme: black, yellow, this sort of gold but not gold. I don't really know what to call it. And then the nice like silver and red and yellow paint and these purple accents all over. So really neat. I really do like this. He's a Matrix Templar, so he was not affected by Megatron's virus, and he's also Matrix compatible, which is what makes Matrix Templars Matrix Templars. But anyways, other than that, like I've seen some of the Beast Machine Snarls, the gold ones that have not cracked. Like I don't know. I really don't want to like chance it. You know what I mean? But eventually, I may get one. If I do, then I'll give it a go and I'll review it and things like that. But for the meantime, I really only need one, and this is the one that I got. So there he is. Other than that, that's it for Beast Mode. We'll take a look at him in Robot Mode. We'll wrap things up. All right, so here's Snarl in his robot mode, and like one of the coolest things about this dude is my man's got a full head of techno-organic hair. So I've always thought that was a pretty cool look. For the longest time, I didn't know that there was a little piece in here that allowed you to pull this section down and rotate it around, so he could have the hair going all the way down to his back. And I remember seeing like the art drawings in the club magazines, and I think the OTFCC comic, where like it was pictured like that, but all I could do was get it to like kind of it'd stay down, but it kind of had like a up flip, and I was like, well, whatever. But just kind of messing with it, I did end up finding that out. And I know I don't do transformations or anything like that, but for the most part, it's got to look like this, and that's how you know. Real quick, gimmicks wise, he does have a talking gimmick where you can press a button on top of his head, and you know, like I said, he talks. So there's that. Other than that, some of the paint, I guess, pattern from like the beast mode. He had him on the cheeks on his beast mode head. He does have the same here on the robot mode, which looks pretty good. I do like that. Again, red eyes, and then this kind of pattern comes forward for like the front of his hair, I suppose. As far as gimmicks go, both arms have one, unfortunately, but you'll see there's this trigger up here, and he can extend about half an inch to punch somebody off of something. If that's your thing. And also, if you want, let's go ahead and get this off, because all beast formers that have a tail, the tail has to become a weapon, right? Let's see. Now you see there's a hole, there's a peg, and the birds and the bees. So you see he does that, but he holds it like super sideways. But if you move that thumb out the way, and it basically like it's just gonna kind of stick there and look kind of unnatural as far as like holding it goes. You can kind of hold it like a short sword, but that's where you've got the gear here with the slashing action. So you can do that if you want to. Personally, I don't have him hold the this little this is like a Cybertronian machete more than anything. I usually just keep it pegged back here on his back, and if you want to, you can rotate that up or around. You can keep it sideways if you want to. I just keep it down like that. Also, if you want to kind of get some movement, all you have to do is hold the gear and just kind of lift it. I think you get like 5 clicks altogether out of it, so kind of somewhere in the middle of where you would want it. And then like straight up and down, you would just, manipulate the gear. I think if the gear's like midway, if you kind of had a little bit of pressure on it, like it'll, I don't know, it's strange. It'll get a little more, just kind of depending on how you manipulate it, I guess. So that's you can get straight up and down. You can't really get all the way 90 degrees, but it's close enough. So nothing really to freak out about there, in my opinion, at least. So there is that. Other than that, he doesn't have a whole lot. Well, he's got decent knees. I also see kind of like a. It's really 50-50 here on these feet. A lot of people I've seen with these as like the toes, and I mean I guess they do look kind of like toes, robot feet, whatever. But I've also seen stuff where it's just the beast mode feet forward. So I kind of keep the beast mode feet forward. I think they look cooler that way. But he seems very similar to Cheetor. So I guess the accurate way would be to have them kind of little toes forward. And it doesn't look terrible, but it's just kind of whatever you want to do with it at this point. If you want to add a extra step to the transformation, you can do all that. But you see he does use a little bit more of this red translucent plastic in robot mode, and I do like it, man. I think the translucent plastic was used very well on Beast Machine stuff, and something a lot of folks will complain about. Not me. Like I said, I kind of dig it. Real quick, as a bonus to this review, we're gonna take a look at the Beast Rider, the Chi, which is what he was kind of introduced on in the Fun Publications Transformers Collectors Club issue, where they did the Wreckers finale, part 1. And if you want to, you can kind of get him holding this thing, doing whatever. It'll sort of wrap around and reach around and grab him, so he's not really going to fall off necessarily. And I don't like, real quick, I don't think I'm going to review this thing. It's $5. You can decide whether you like it or not. But what's interesting is, so we're going to try to do this, and okay, doesn't really hold on to him because it's going to pull away from whatever. I mean, I guess if you keep these little guns back like this, it'll wrap all the way around him. This thing is mostly supposed to be for like little basic toys, but let's see. We've got it all the way around him. Let's get his little arms on it, and we'll press it down, and there he goes. Vroom vroom. I don't know, man. I think this is a fun little thing right here. But like I said, he was introduced in this body, riding on this chariot, if you want to call it that. So that's kind of how I have them on display on my shelf. By all means, don't go out of your way for one of these. You know, if it's something you can get with a lot of other stuff, go for it. But there's a reason they're only like $3 to $5, and that's why. So, anyways, that's it for Snarl. Like I said, definitely my favorite of the Beast Machines line, at least as far as deluxes go. You know, there's a lot of cool basics in the line, but mostly between like this guy and Sky, the pterodactyl. That I can't. I think is it Skyhammer? No, that doesn't sound right. Whatever. I mean, I literally just reviewed him, but between that guy and Snarl, Snarl is definitely my favorite. He just looks cooler, man. He's just a more fun toy as well. So I definitely recommend you at least getting the universe version. You know, you can look for the all gold plastic Beast Machines version, and maybe we'll take a look at that on this channel one day. But in the meantime, really cool. I don't think a lot of people, like I said, I don't think Beast Machines has been given a fair crack. For the most part, I've enjoyed a lot of these toys, but that's probably going to change when we get into some of the Viacons and the show characters and things like that. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comments box. I'll do what I can to answer them. And if you like this kind of stuff, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.